You're with News First. Up next is Action TV.
Today on May Day, one of the factors that comes to the fore for some of the working people who use it as a decoration and for the working people as a whole is the problem surrounding their wages. When considering the public sector, the absolute majority of public sector employees complain that they do not receive a wage reflective of the cost of living. The disparities in wages between different public institutions and the different levels in a single institution is a complex problem in the public sector. The government, which believed that these problems persist due to the absence of a national wage policy, appointed the National Wages and Employee Numbers Commission to compile such a policy 6 years ago. When implementing Circular Number 6 issued by this commission, a number of wage disparities cropped up. The Commission's solution to this was to propose that the constitutions of each institution in the public sector be amended accordingly. A common concept has been prepared for such amendment and has been submitted to each of the departments and ministries. When discussions with the trade unions pertaining to the 2012-2013 budget were held, the President himself determined the time frame within which such amendments to the constitution of the different services should be made. In accordance with this order, by now, the implementation of Circular Number 6 of 2006 should be going ahead without any problems. However, due to there being even bigger disparities than wage disparities in the work ethic of the highest echelons of public service, as of today, only a handful of those public service constitutions have been amended accordingly. Even these have not been approved and published. The amendment to one of these, which is the Constitution of the Government Management Assistance Service, was completed a year ago. Given that an entire year has passed and the amendment to this constitution has not been approved and published, is there a point to amending the constitutions of other public services before amending the tortoise pace work ethic at the highest echelons of the public sector? Secretary to the President, this one is over to you.
The Sri Lanka Navy rescues a group of foreign nationals stranded at sea. The foreigners are interred at the Mirihana Holding Centre based on a court order. Problems with determining the nationalities of those in the holding centre. 4 foreign nationals escaped from the centre. No reports as to their whereabouts. What happened to the escapees?
News First U reporter M. Shah Jahan filed this report on a poorly maintained sports ground.
The pavilion of the Nigambu Municipal Council Sports Ground is in a dilapidated condition due to poor maintenance. The people in the area urged the relevant authorities to renovate this ground, which is useful for the public.
Mama News First U reporter Nigambu Sita M. Shah Jahan.
In business news tonight, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka says that although unemployment among the country's labour force has reduced to 4%, unemployment among the youth, that is between the ages of 20 and 29, prevails at 11.3%. According to the CBSL's annual report, unemployment in the 15 to 19 age group is 18.9%.
According to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, economically active persons above the age of 10 constitute the labour force of 8.5 million. As at the end of 2012, unemployment in the labour force had reduced to 4%. However, when considering the level of education, unemployment among members of the labour force who have completed their advanced level examinations is 6%. Unemployment among members of the labour force with higher educational qualifications is 7.5%.
FIFA, the governing body of world football, has imposed an 8-year ban on the former president of the Sri Lanka Football Federation and former FIFA Executive Committee member, Attorney at Law Manilal Fernando. Fernando will be unable to participate in any activity related to competitive football for the duration of the ban.
FIFA says it decided to impose the ban as Manilal Fernando, who was incidentally also Vice President of the Asian Football Confederation or AFC, as he had violated FIFA's Code of Ethics. Fernando had earlier received a 90-day ban from FIFA for irregularities in the use of funds of the AFC. Issuing a communique, FIFA said that the ban had been extended to 8 years as the allegations against Fernando had been proven. Meanwhile, issuing a communique via his legal firm, Manilal Fernando said he was disappointed with the ban imposed on him and that he would seek redress from the International Court of Arbitration for Sport.
Staying in the game, last week's thumping Champions League wins for German teams at home to Spanish opponents prompted talk of a power shift in the European game, but Bayern Munich feel it is too early to draw such a conclusion. Bayern beat Barcelona 4-0 and faced them again in Spain today.
Bayern were the last German team to win the Champions League back in 2001 and were also the last Bundesliga side to win the UEFA Cup or Europa League, the continent's second-tier club competition, in 1996. Bayern coach Jupp Heynckes, who has experience coaching in Spain at Barca's great rivals Real, Athletic Bilbao and Tenerife, should have a full squad available for tonight's game, with only defender Dante, who has a cold, a doubt. Heynckes said Bayern would not be curbing their attacking instincts. Heynckes also said he will not be instructing his team to play a cautious game today, despite 6 players, including defender Philipp Lahm and midfielders Bastian Schweinsteiger and Javi Martinez, risking suspension for the final. Meanwhile, Barcelona need to overturn a 4-goal first-leg deficit when they clash with the Germans, and only 3 clubs have ever done that. Elimination for Barca today would leave La Liga as their only chance of silverware this season. They have an 11-point lead over current champions Real Madrid with 5 games left and are close to a 4th title in 5 seasons. Meanwhile, hopes are high of seeing World Player of the Year Lionel Messi in the starting lineup after shaking off a hamstring injury that didn't allow him to play at his top level in the first match. But Barca coach Tito Vilanova said it would not be fair to put all the pressure on the Argentine despite his key role in the qualifier. The final is on the 25th of May at London's Wembley Stadium, where 4 times champions Barca won European titles in 1992 and 2011.
Sports First, brought to you by Dialogue, the future today.
Each new discovery in the environment tends to amaze us every single day.
You may have heard or seen images of flying fish who incidentally launch themselves into the air by beating their tails very fast.
Well, we wrap up this edition of News First with some footage of this magnificent wonder of Mother Nature. I'm Sonali Wanikabatake.
And I'm Shayan Silva. Take care and good night.